our backlog of all the things we have not measured correctly in digital, it's going to be really hard to move forward and to revamp all those models. So there are tons of great ideas, but we have a lot of fundamental work, like making digital impressions viewable, and the technology and the change and the reforecasting of inventory are extraordinarily complex. There are other elements to it that touch on things other folks here have brought up, and I'm not going to go into it. We have a Measurement Now site, www.measurementnow.net, and you can see all of what's related to that. But I also want to talk about some things that I didn't hear us talk about. We talked about screens, and we talked about multicultural, and we talked about global, and we talked about aesthetics, and we talked about experiences, and we talked about restructuring for agencies of the future. It's really important that we start to restructure today how media are planned and bought. We still have silos. We still have people who say, go talk to the TV buyer, go talk to the digital buyer. Unacceptable in a room full of really smart people talking about what's going to happen in 2020. So we already have people who are ready to be correctly deployed, and if they're not, let's get them trained pretty quickly, because it's old news that we're planning and buying media incorrectly for today. Some of the ideas that I didn't hear that I think are important for now and for the future, we really need, and Nancy touched on things that are similar, we need to give innovation officers, strategy execs, people who are touching media and creative opportunities to intersect with college students, with youth workshops. We don't do enough of that. And I'm going to propose something that I don't even know can be done, but I think it's important as we ramp up for the future to do something like a children's technology workshop, akin to what Children's Television Workshop did to create Sesame Street and to find out how to educate children. There are things that we can all learn about the future of media, the future of advertising, the future of screens, just by watching children. But if we could get permission from parents and really look at them, that would tell us a lot about where the future is. You know, it's not enough to talk about millennials. It's not enough to talk about in 2020 we will have people who have always lived with the internet. But we really need to start looking at how people are going to grow up differently. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we live in a world where people are aging. We have aging populations. We have cool technology. How are we building businesses that address all of the things technology can do to help people who are aging? Look at me, I have to wear my glasses. I mean, you know, we're all confronting a world where there's going to be a lot of money in the hands of people who are not necessarily living the way that younger people do. What are we doing to deploy that? What are we doing to think about how all of the population shifts and the climate shifts and global warming are going to change how people live, how they deploy technology, where they move, where they migrate to. So just, I'm kind of saying, let's go back to old-fashioned looking at broad demographic shifts and deploying businesses and technology and advertising to work in the direction that people are going. What I wanted to tell you a little bit about what the IAB is doing, because I would be remiss if I got up here and didn't do that. Yeah, I have no time. Okay, we have an initiative called Rising Stars, working on making creatives more beautiful. Something I said earlier today was it's really important that the digital world start to create iconic images in advertising, things that we all remember, things that speak to us. Rising Stars hopefully will help that. I mentioned 3MS. We're also working on something called the future of the cookie. It will be very important to the world of data, because we do believe that cookies may be going away, and we're already looking at how technologies can be used. So those are just some highlights. Sorry about going back to the future, but I think it was really important to go there. Thank you very much.